everyone, welcome to my channel. So on my completed pages, I did a page in the Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and it was a buddy colour with Kirsty colour and sketch. And I did this background, and it was with tea and coffee staining. And I did say that I would do a little tutorial on it. So it might not be of interest to some people, but I thought, well, I've done it. I can, get it out there if you wanted to try it out. It's really simple. I have done it before on one of my scavenger hunts. Let me just get that. Excuse my chair. It's a bit clunky. I've done some tea staining in here before. I think I've done it in both years. Let me find it. I should have found it out earlier for you. Oh God, they're stuck together. Where is it? I know I've done some. So I did that one. That's tea staining and coffee staining. And I'm sure I did one this year as well. Let me find it. It is really simple. But I do want to do it in a colouring book again. So you guys who are colouring, maybe I didn't do it again, because that is, no, I'm wasting your time. There's not another one. So that is that. So what I've got is, I've got 3 tea bags in there. They've just been soaking since this morning, I'm a big tea drinker. So they've just been soaking in there. Put a little bit of water, hot water over them. Not a lot, just a bit, just to carry it on like stewing. And I'm going to do this page. I'm going to show you on this page. This is Jewellery Box, Hannah Carlson. And where is the page I'm doing? I'm going to do it on this one. I just thought this page might be quite good because it's a bit vintagey. With a brown background, it might look nice. So I was thinking of doing it like that. I have put a bit of washi tape down the side because I did end up getting it on to the other side last time. So you could do that, or you could put a bit of paper just to stop it from going onto the other side. So I have got, you don't have to, but what I'm doing is I'm going to put a little base of it, like a watercolour, just all over. You don't have to. I didn't do that in my scavenger hunt, but because it's in my colouring book, I don't want it to go. So I don't know what brush I'm using, but I'm just going to use this one for now. Get my little cloth. Not it too wet. So the little bit of water that's in there, I hope you can see well enough. I can't really see the camera enough. So I just get some on there and then take some of the water off. The good thing about the Hannah Carlson books is that the paper's quite good. I've not tested it out on, like the Amazon ones yet. So it's good for this because it just gives a bit of the colour. I've gone over now, look. Oh well. So it's just to give it a bit of the colour. I'm not the best at doing watercolour, but I just whack it on. It's just so you can just get round the edges. And I've got some paper behind, so if it goes over, it's fine. It's not just going to go. It's just to give it a bit of the off-white colour. And then you've got some, if you make it quite, how would you put it? A bit more water around the edges of the illustration, and then you've got a bit more of a deep colour. So that's all you do, is just go around all the edges and then just whack a load of it all over. Doesn't have to be tidy, because that's the idea of this style. It doesn't have to be tidy at all. I find it quite relaxing, actually. Just watercolour and a messy background. That tea bag's burst. I've got a bit of a tea leaf in here, fortunately. But when it's dried off, it'll brush off. So don't worry about anything like that. Around the edge, I really hope you're in frame. Yeah. Then I'll leave this to dry. If you pull the like little pulls down to the illustration, then it'll make it a bit deeper. A bit of a deeper colour. I don't know if I've got it on there, but it just takes the edge of the whiteness off. I know her pages aren't pure white anyway. I might test this out on an Amazon page and just, Amazon paper shall I say, and just see how it works. But once you've seen how to do this, you can always test it out yourself. It depends if you like wrinkling or not. It don't matter to me, a bit of wrinkly page paper. Don't bother me whatsoever. I get shaky hands, so I do try to be careful around edges of things. It's really quick because you don't have to take your time. It's really quick. So just round the edge, chuck a load round the edge, and then just whack it on. I'll start at the top up here because I'll get my arm in it. I know what I'm like. Pull a load down there. Yeah, you see I've got a bit of a tea leaf up there, but it, like I say, once it's dry, that'll just brush off. So it's not an issue whatsoever. And then at the end, towards the end, I put the coffee staining in. So I do it in like probably 2 or 3 stages. It depends how dark you want the staining to be. I do quite like it dark. So yeah, it's personal choice really, how you want to have it. Even if you just wanted a light background like this, but you can see it dries really quick. So I've just seen a bit that's not had any on. You can just whack it back on. Then it gives a bit, it starts, when it's dry, and then you put a little bit more on, it gives a bit more of the staining effect. Just be careful around here. Hope my head's not in the frame. You don't want my frizzy hair in there. I probably put a bit too much on there, but oh well. And then while this is drying, I'm going to hoover the sofa. So I've took the covers off. They're in the washing machine. And then I'm going to hoover the sofa. You know, take the covers, take the cushions off. And hoover that. It's not a thing that gets done very often. So I'm going to do that while this is drying. I have got, what's it called? The thing that dries your paper. I have got one of them, but I just thought I'll just let it dry naturally, and then it's quite a warm day today here in the UK. It's not bad at all. And then, yeah, I'll come back and show you the next step. Like I say, you can do it as dark or as light as you want. It's not really, it's up to you. Personal choice and all, personal preferences, should I say. So just whack it on. Like I say, good thing with Hannah Carlzon, her books are quite good for the paper. So just make it a little bit easier. Put a bit more around the edge. And then once it starts to dry, you can see the little bits that you've missed. So you can just put a little blob on and it'll start to do some staining effect. Yeah, I'm going to put a bit more around this edge, because then the next step I'll probably not get too close to the edge, because I do want to, I don't know if it'll affect the pencil I'm going to use. So you just put a bit more water around the edge if you want to. I think I've covered it. No, I haven't. There's a bit there. Like I say, you can, as soon as it starts dry, you can see what you've missed. But it is best to leave it for a bit, let it totally dry, and then come back in. If you wanted to do another coat like this, you could, but let it dry. Otherwise, it is going to go through to the other side if you wet it too much. So yeah, I think that is about it. I'm just going to put, thing is with me, I go a bit too crazy and I put too much water on, and yeah, I think that might do. Put a bit more on there. I'm going to put a little bit more here because I can see. There. I think that might do for this step then. Just put a little bit here. See, I can't stop. This is my problem. I can't stop myself. So wipe my brush, and then I'm just going to leave it to dry, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. It has curled up the page, but once it's all dry and it's finished, if you put it under some books, it will flatten out. So yeah. So next step, you can see there's like, you see where the brush marks have been, but we'll soon get rid of that. So one of the, well, I don't know which one it is that's burst. I'm assuming it's one of the bottom ones. So if you just take some of the water out of these, you don't want it too wet. Oh, you have to excuse my arm. My allergies are really bad at the moment, and I'm scratching and breathing's bad. It's just time of year. So if you just dab the tea bag just all over really, and then just let it do its thing. The only problem, I mean, if you wanted to, you could flatten it before you redo this. You just dab it about, and then it'll make little pools. Yeah. So that's all you do. Just dab it about. If it gets a bit dry, just dab it back into the water. So you don't want it too wet, because you don't want it going through the page. But Hannah calls on books, and probably Kirby Roseanne's. Anything with good paper would be great for something like this, where you can just go crazy with the water. And it's not going to be too dark even if it did go through, so it's not a big issue, I suppose. And that's gone onto a hand, but you can just wipe it off. And then I'm just going to leave it again. See, it's running down to the, it is running down. Let's wipe that bit off there. It's fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, you can see where the brush has been, but it's fine. It'll get sorted eventually. Yeah, I'm wetting this a bit too much. So I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to come back and do another layer. Hang on a second, I know I saw a bit that's not been wet. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to come back and do another layer. Right, so I'm back. I have left this to dry, and yeah, it is curling up, but because it's a tutorial, you can, if you want to, like put it between some books, you know, flatten it out a little bit, and then come back and do the next step. But I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to bend the page back a bit, just get a bit of a bend. It'll sort itself out once it's under some books. It'll be fine. So the next step, I want it a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do is just add some more. Get rid of some of that water. Just add some more because I like it darker in the corners. So I'm just going to go over everywhere again. This is why it's a good idea to like leave it to dry, because the amount of water that, if you did it all in one, you wouldn't get the effect, and it would a bit more wet. I think it would more likely. I think I've burst this tea bag. I have. It don't matter. It will brush off. Might even add a more effect, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, it is a bit too much, that. Yeah, I don't want to get one of the other ones because they're way too wet. In fact, it's making it more darker. So I'm just going to go over, just dab it around. Dab it around. I find this relaxing, just messing about like this. Don't have to be perfect. Sometimes we spend too much time trying to get something to look a certain way. And then, let me just dry my hands off on this. And then this is when, I might just need that tea bag again. I like the corners. You can either leave it like this, or I like to have a bit more water in the corners because I like to put the coffee on. You don't have to put the coffee on if you don't want to, if you just want to leave it at that stage. But to do the coffee, while this is wet, this is when I sprinkle it on. And I just sprinkle it around the corners. Just around the corners. Or wherever you want. You can put it wherever you want. I'm just putting it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going over, aren't I? Into the corners. And then into this corner. And then just, just 1 second. Sorry, I thought there was someone at the door. So yeah, this is dried a little bit now, so it's not really going to go to plan. But so I'm just going to wet this again a little bit. I did get some on here which I didn't want to, but so I need to just wet these bits that I want to put the coffee on. So I'm just going to dab it again. It doesn't matter really, but since I've been gone, you can see how it's all granulating. Is that the word? I don't know. Right, so get some more coffee. And I'm just gonna sprinkle some more in the corners. God, I hope you're in frame after all that. I might be better with this hand because my fingers are dry. Yeah, it makes your fingers mucky, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm quite liking it. I quite like the darkness of it. So I might just have to get that again because I haven't wet this bit. So you could leave it on for a few minutes, or, I mean, because I haven't done anything on the other side of this, it is going to leave me some bumps. So what I'll do is leave it on for a few minutes. I'm just going to do that because it's not wet enough. Leave it on for a few minutes, and then I can't leave it, can I? I'm just I have to keep dabbing. Yeah, so I'll leave it on for a few minutes, and then I will probably wet it all down where the lumps of coffee is, and it'll just deepen it up a little bit. So I'll give it a couple of minutes, and then, because I know when I'm going to colour on the other side, it's of this page, it's going to give me some trouble with a bit. It's just going to show lumps up. I wouldn't mind if it were a single-sided page. If it was a single-sided page you're doing, it's fine. It's not an issue, and it does look better. So I'm just going to dab the coffee bits again. Probably put too much water on there, just to flatten them down a little bit. But once it's dry, you'll be able to brush the lumps off, any that are just in the way. Just brush them off. Just dab in the really big lumps, because it will give me issues on the other page. I'm sure the bulb's going in my lamp. I might have to look into getting a new another bulb for it. It's either that or it's sun going in and out through curtains. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it like that, I think. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to show you. In fact, I just want that corner just dabbed a bit more. Yeah, so I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to show you. I'm just taking that bit off. Yeah, so I'll come back when it's bone dry. Okay, so it's dry now. So it is very crinkled, but it will flatten out, I promise you. So it is darker than I wanted, but that is because I smudged the coffee around to flatten it down. There is some still lumps. There's a big lump there, and a lump there, and a big lump there, but the coffee makes it glisten a bit, makes it shiny. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, you can also like put a sprinkle of like gold or something, some splatters. But for now, you do get like coffee, and I'll show you. It's all in the crease there. It'll come out though. I'll get a brush and just brush it out. And then just brush your page as well, because there will be loose bits. Like if you just rub it, some loose bits will come off. Yeah, they'll just come off. You see there's bits coming off there now. But compared to this one, it wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be, this. I didn't want it as dark as it is, but it's fine. It'll work. Because that one's lighter, because I put the coffee just in the corners and I didn't put as much coffee on. So if you don't want it as dark, don't put as much coffee on, is what I'm saying. Yeah. And then I just got this tape to take off and give it a brush over. So yeah, so I hope this was interesting to you. And if you do try it out, tag me on Instagram if you've done it, or just message me or whatever. Yeah, I'm happy for people to message me, or like, yes, say tag me if you have tried it out. I'd love to see it. Yeah, so I hope it was of interest, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and please give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. Thanks, bye.